Another side job down, resonator replacement on a Civic Si. Cool. What the hell is this thing? Why the hell you got a Home Depot truck?
What other truck are you gonna rent?
What do we rent a truck for?
For an engine. What else are we gonna put it in? Back at the NSX?
Your mom.
Exactly.
I thought you were borrowing your mom's truck. That's why I was like, this dude takes for absolutely ever. Man said, I'm grabbing a truck real quick and I'll be there.
We're going on a zany project adventure. What did you expect?
Well, yeah, I mean, you heard it. We're heading to, put my seatbelt on. We're going to Tucson because I didn't film it because we weren't filming that day. Ramon blew the motor in his Civic and his EJ, so we'll probably, when we go to pull that, we'll probably send it off with a bang. But it's knocking pretty good right now. We went out for photos one day, and he decided to race DJ out through the canyon, DJ's K-Swap TRX. Show him what the silver bullet was all about.
Which it got him on the downhill after he slowed down for me.
But yeah, and then the next day, we went to shoot some photos. Going up the uphill part, he started losing power, so we turned around, made it like halfway out, and then the car just kind of killed itself. And he investigated a homeless camp and then turned it back on. It was like knocking on your bedroom door. So
to be fair, it kind of died as so much as I killed it. It was a little mutual. Like it wasn't at full power when I bought it. So it's,
yeah, it never hit VTEC or anything. It was like
it was a little sketch. But
we think the oil pump probably failed more than anything because it was full on oil. He just changed it. But
the rest of the show was minty, but the engine was a little.
Yeah, it was like 220,000 or something like that. So unknown history, random Y8 swap. So. Y8s are stupid expensive out here right now in Arizona, so they're like $1,200. But he just, oh, is it? He just found a full swap, a B swap with axles, linkage, all that jazz down in Tucson, which is like 2 hours away for $1,500. So stock B swap or replacement single cam. I mean, pretty easy answer there, and then we can still put the AC and everything back in the B. So that's ideally what we're doing. So just hitting the road now. I just finished up that side job like you guys just saw. Did you know that guy's in the Yanyans chat?
Yeah. Wait, is that it's not Joey, is it?
Joseph, yeah. Yeah, I didn't know that because he was like, oh, he was asking me about it because we were talking about the canyon stuff. But yeah, so turns out I knew the guy when I didn't know I knew the guy. But yeah, well, I guess snacks or something, and then hit the road and go scoop this motor.
Thanks for stopping at Burger King. Can I serve you today?
Well, you guys still have the rodeo burgers?
Yes, we still have the rodeo burgers.
Awesome. Could we do 4 of those?
4 rodeo burgers? Do you want to add cheese to those?
Yes, please.
1506.
Yep.
Okay.
Rodeo boy Glenn.
That's right.
Believe Owen.
No, I think you're right, because he was like, you know what, this shit's so pleasant, all you gotta do is put cheese on it, it's fucking, this is really cool.
Are we taking the interstate or are we taking the back way?
Back way. Like your mom.
Your mom likes it the back way.
Especially we won't run into the Renaissance Festival this fucking time.
Oh yeah. If you guys don't know what the Renaissance Festival is, it's what it sounds like. It's like LARPing in Arizona in the desert for medieval times. But it's like a state, like, it's a festival.
It's a thing.
Yeah, I don't know why. I went when I was a kid, so I don't remember the slightest bit of it, but it's very popular. I can guess you can get like turkey legs the size of your head, and if you're into medieval nerding around, it's the place to go, I guess. Yeah. But it gets stupid busy and traffic gets backed up for miles and miles and miles. And we went the other day when we did the Tucson trip in the last video, and on the way back, I wish I was filming, but at some point the traffic light went out and cops were having to like come up the line, and one of them had his intercom on, and he was talking to Ramon. He was like, "Will the black Nissan pull off just a little bit more?"
So I didn't move because I'm not a black Nissan, and then he read the plate and he was like, "NS6, move to the middle of the lane."
Yeah. Yeah, DPS guy didn't know what he was.
Okay, there we go.
We're back at the same exact quick trip that we were at before in the last video. Last time we came down here. So, drinking pee break, I guess. You ever notice how people get weirded out when you hold the camera? Like,
He immediately backed up.
yeah.
He probably just thought you were talking to himself.
I am talking to myself, but
To an audience.
I don't know. He just looked at me and just immediately like backed away to his car. And then when we were here the other day, I don't know. I think you can see it on the background of the video. But while we were all hanging out by the car filming, after I topped off the oil, no, when we first arrived, there's a jeep full of people, of chicks, like older chicks, and they were all like staring at us, acting all weird. But this guy's just giving us a weird look. Whatever.
Never seen a YouTube star before.
Yeah, star apparently. Some of you guys have asked what the blue drink is that I've been drinking, these NeuroBliss things. Absolutely slap. I don't know where else to buy them other than Quick Trips down here. I don't know where else Quick Trip is. Quick as in like the word quick, not quick as in Midwest quick where it's like KWIK trip. These ones are like KUIK trip. I don't know if the other one has it, but yeah. Cheers. Well, looks like this is probably it. Place with all the torn out Hondas. It's so annoying.
So, you know, it's legit.
It's not what I would call it, but let the whole neighborhood know we're here. Damn. Gosh dang. You freaking. You don't do truck stuff.
No, hey, I understand. especially something that you're not used to. Oh, the exercise that goes the rest of the way. Ah, shit. A little bit more. That's good. Can't be mad about that.
Yeah, right.
It was either this or T16 180. That's what blew up, and I can't find it. Yeah, so.
No, exactly. It's surprising to have them been beat on.
Yeah.
We're like, I just have little parts now.
Yeah, right.
Best way to go back towards the freeway is go down to 22nd right here. 22nd all the way to the freeway. Okay. That's the easiest way. Don't worry about what the GPS says.
Gotcha.
It's the smoothest route.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Yeah.
A little close to the wall.
Do you normally take?
This dude forgot ratchet straps, so we might stop at AutoZone. I don't know. The roads down here are pretty collapsed, so I don't know. Harbor Freight's like 5 miles away, but in Tucson driving, that means like 30 minutes away. Yeah, and it's like out of the way from where we're heading, so we might just have to deal with it unless we can find an AutoZone. And hope for the best, but we got it. So the guy already had it set up. It was sitting on the lift like you guys just saw, and we just backed right up after 30 minutes of Ramon beeping his way through the alley, and just dropped it right in, and now we're leaving. Quick, in and out, painless transaction. Well, mostly painless, hopefully painless.
But seems good.
Yeah, I don't know. It looks like he just pulled the swap for presumably a customer. Sounds like it's going, the car that he's doing is getting like a K-swap or something, so. Yeah. Making an AutoZone pit stop because we got things sliding around a lot more than they should be back there. Better safe than sorry, so.
It's a little noisy back there.
Yeah, especially with the aluminum bed, so. I don't even know where they would be. Bang bang, skeet skeet. A 2-pack. Otherwise, you can get one for 17.
Big toe strap?
Why would you need a toe strap? You need a ratchet strap.
I was just thinking of that was Belivo pulling out DJ with one of those.
Oh.
We were hoping that just wouldn't snap.
I mean, there's these super cheap duty ones that should be decent enough to hold down an engine for 20 bucks.
Any thing here? This one then?
Yeah.
26.
Look at that heat.
I want one of these.
Just don't return it.
You're right. I can just buy it that way. They were like, "How long do you want it for?" I was like, "How long? What's the max you can have it for?" They're like, 4 weeks. I was like, "Oh, okay." Like, it's like $4,000.
Oh gosh. Just one of those things I never really had to learn how to do because I grew up poor, so I never had motorized toys to strap down.
I was actually hoping that we would be able to keep his chain.
Why?
I was like, I want that chain.
Why?
Because I don't have extra chains.
I got a chain at the house.
I don't have none. The one that we use is like rusted and like older than I am.
You cheat ass.
Where do you buy chains from?
Chain store, I don't know.
Exactly.
Tractor Supply.
I don't go there every day.
Well, I mean, he is a sinner for painting the block blue, but it's got a BWR cam cap.
I saw that.
That's nice and, what is that, green? I don't know.
I'm hoping there's not a reason he painted it blue, just besides being hot boy trash, but
Probably just hot boy trash. I
it
mean,
doesn't look like anything
it's got some
particularly...
DC sports headers that are nice and old looking. AutoZone special compressor. Why was he like, it's even got the throttle cable, as if that's like some rare occurrence? I didn't get that part.
I don't understand that either.
Knockoff Hassport mounts with super stiff urethane. So have fun with that.
Those boys are probably coming out.
Yeah.
DJ needs to let a couple fall off the truck.
Yeah, right. Well, you can get new urethane. The Hassport ones fit right in there. Even the fuel rail is blue. You struggling with that damn box?
Look, I don't have anything to cut these stupid things with, so I'm untwisting it by one.
Use your sunglasses with your fancy titanium sharpness.
They only work for bottle caps. We're not drinking right now.
Well, we should be.
We should be. Should be in Mexico drinking right now.
Yeah, well, we're close enough to Mexico. Let's just keep heading south.
That's what I'm saying. Let's go
We're like 2 hours away.
You're not down.
I don't have a
passport either.
Yeah.
We're not coming back.
Well, it's got oil in there. It smells like normal oil. Doesn't smell like anything funky. It's down on oil, but he could have Huh?
What would you?
Oh yeah, DB1.
Pretty good one too.
Yeah, he probably just started to drain the fluids or something. I don't know. So we'll see. I mean, he didn't compression test it. He didn't give us any numbers. It was kind of like he posted it on Facebook. We hit him up and just came down, and he already had it out of the car ready to go. So
send me a video of it running. Who knows when that was?
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah. So Ramon got a video of it running, but otherwise unknown history. But it's a Honda. I mean, it's
also $1,500.
Yeah, $1,500 for everything. Tranny, yeah, header, AC stuff, harness, injectors, distributor, engine, axles, radiator, linkage. Like, it is what it is.
Or $1,200 for a short block.
Yeah, or $1,200 for
almost a long block.
Yeah.
Minus the manifold.
Yeah, so
some other shit.
It is what it is.
Tube.
Yeah, it ain't going nowhere.
Tighter than Sadowski's mom.
Tighter than your mom. Now your mounts are just gonna be clapping all over the place.
Fucking.
Like your mom's cheeks.
Not even Hassport ones.
Yeah. All right, we're Gucci. Take the extra strap, probably put it in the cab. Don't forget it. Stopped one more time on the way out. We stopped at this random Valero outside of Tucson in like Oro Valley before our turn off onto the middle of nowhere desert road. And I jokingly was saying that I wanted some Champurrado or whatever because Efren's got me like hooked on it. And what do you know? Valero in the middle of nowhere Tucson has Champurrado. Like, yeah, in the little vending machine thing. So
I called it. I said I was gonna have it, and then what do you know? Boom.
Yeah, because I was just facetiously saying like, I want some. It sounds kind of good. And they have, yeah, probably got like another hour and a half until we're back home. Probably won't film anything else for the night, but we will catch up with you guys once we go to probably get the car started on. I don't know what I'll include this footage in. I don't think we have enough footage to make a whole video out of it, but yeah, we'll see you in the next one.
A few moments later.
No word on when Ramon wants to swap the motor. I'm sure it'll probably be pretty soon. I don't know. He wanted to do timing belt, water pump, all this stuff on it like that while we're in there, so he's got to gather parts. But in the meantime, I got a first gen Ford Lightning. We're gonna be building an exhaust on this thing. This guy was recommended to me by my buddy David, who I have done a few jobs for. So it's really cool that the word of mouth is getting around. I don't know if these guys were brothers, family. They said brother at some point, but I don't know. That's whatever. You get the point. Word of mouth getting out. Appreciate you guys. You're awesome. He's just getting some basic exhaust pipes. He just installed some long tube headers, and we're gonna be bringing it back and kicking it out right before the tire. Should be pretty easy. He dropped off like 16 foot of pipe, so that may be enough. I gotta check my bin really quick and see if I have any curved sections, because I really don't want to make pie cuts because I am in a bit of a time crunch. And he was trying to get the truck back today because he dropped off last night. So we got some gaskets, we got some flanges. I'm really blown out right now. I'm sorry about that. I'm so white. I'm sorry. Here we go. And then we got O2 bung, because this was the original thing he wanted. But I couldn't just weld the bung to the header because it's like a 4 pipe into the 1 flange thing, and then yeah, whatever, you get it. So let's get started on this, and then Efren's coming by because I guess he wants to freaking do something later today, and you guys will see that here in a little bit. So I'm gonna get cracking, and we'll see you in the next clip. Start on the exhaust. Realized it's gonna be a little bit more work than anticipated, so I told the kid I'm gonna need some more time. So I work Mondays and Tuesdays, like I've said before. So we're gonna finish that up probably Wednesday. I'm gonna try and get most of it done today. I have to make a bunch of pie cuts. I don't have any bends. Well, I have like 2 90s, which will help, but I don't know. I'm gonna try and make the exhaust nicer for the kid. So yeah, kind of waiting on his response on the price point that he wants, though, because I gave him some options basically. But anyway, we got Efren with us. So mentioned that we have a second random potential pickup in this video, because we did the engine with Ramon, and now we're gonna potentially go scoop another flip car, because this dude has been the lowball king lately. Like, that's been his little side gig on top of his side gig of doing the PPF stuff, is like flipping cars. And yeah, he just, whatever, it's hilarious. But so he hit me up a little bit ago, was like, yo, let's go check out this Miata. So figure, why not? We're gonna go check it out, see how much of a nugget it is. The dude's asking $4 grand for it. It's definitely pretty clapped, but it's got low miles, so I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
We're almost to the guy's house. It's been quite the drive. I didn't know at least how far out here this was. For you AZ Phoenix locals, we're off the 17 and like Happy Valley Road, so we're up here, basically opposite side of the valley as me. And we're at this quick trip, and huge shout out to the cashier. I want to say your name is Ashley. I'm sorry I didn't really read your name tag, but she watches my videos, and that was really cool. So thank you. You made my day. Efren's jealous.
Must be nice to get spotted.
Yeah, right. But yeah, we're gonna go continue on and try and break a deal.
Yeah.
Is it that got per pound first? Bitch.
That's right.
You made it. Rich boy neighborhood right here.
Yeah, right. I don't even know what to say, where to begin, I guess. Like, the dude would not budge off of the absolute lowest of 3,500. He wanted $4 grand. So starts off, there's no headlights on the car. The buckets are kind of there. They don't work. I tried twisting the motors by hand. Somebody's done the little trick thing to where they only go down halfway for that lazy eye thing instead of just buying lazy eye headlights. So that's dicked. It was normally British Racing Green. It had red fender, red door on the driver's side, unknown reasoning. Looking under it, there was not a sliver of silver on the bottom side of the engine, so it was all just everything was pissing. It needed probably a steering rack, minimum inner and outer tie rods, power steering leak, AC didn't work, motor apparently had 87,000 on it, but it looks like it's probably been through hell. He fires it up, it starts up really quick, but it idles like absolute dog piss. It's misfiring, even though he changed plugs and wires, he said. Engine bay has rust in the corners, like a lot of surface rust, like it's not an Arizona car. Looking under the back end, it did have a Torsen LSD, which is really good, but it was piss and fluid. almost looked like it might have even had a cracked pumpkin. The frame rails look like they've been to the Holocaust and back. And then the passenger quarter panel was completely replaced but not finished. So it was literally held on with like 3 wood screws going through the interior plastics on top of that. Seats were torn to hell. Steering wheel was missing the airbag and everything. The dash was in decent shape, but it was missing the hood around like the cluster. The wheels were in decent shape. Tires were basically dry rotted to hell. Radiator looked like it was leaking, or the hose was leaking, because there was a big puddle under the car, and he was like, oh yeah, blah blah, but it should make it. So like, I offered him $1,500 on the absolute high side because I do understand the market right now, but literally everything on that car needed to be touched. So yeah, and he was like, oh, I got a guy asking me right now $100 to take it off the market. He's gonna come scoop it. I'm
once
just
they
like,
come take a look at it,
the pictures made it look so much better, because like literally just walking up to the car from 5 feet away, you're like,
oh, yep. This ain't
damn. Yeah,
shame.
like this thing has been wrecked. So yeah, we just walked away. Told the kid, if you want to take $1,500, we'll come back and we'll talk you down some more. But yeah, it's like, even if we bought it at $4 grand, like to get it back on the market worthy with us doing all of the labor, I expect at least $1 grand in parts just to get the basic stuff done, and the materials to get those basic things done, and then I'd say at least 200, 300 hours of labor. So there's absolutely no money to be made. If somebody wants a cheap drift project where they're just gonna spot weld the freaking quarter panel on really quick and then just go to town and beat the piss out of it, it might be a good deal, but not at $4,000. So we're just gonna probably make our way back to the house and call it a day after that, because shoot, yeah, that frustrated the hell out of me.
Been on that camera, you would have caught me. You would have caught me red-handed.
Oh man! So we're sitting here stuck in traffic. We just got some Monroe's chicken, which is some new chicken joint out here. Absolute slaps. Percy Muscati approved. Yeah, so we're just chilling. I picked up the camera 2 seconds. This boy just stalled it. He's being a lazy bones.
No, so there's no evidence.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. We're on.
What do you think it's your mom's house?
Is that they haven't hidden the electrical motor noise too much. So when I put my foot down.
Well, update on the exhaust portion. So this is the passenger side, this side. It's pretty much welded up. This is obviously coming off the header. This goes over the subframe thingy, or the cross member, whatever. Muffler out. I do have to add the O2 sensor bung. I gotta wait till this is obviously cooled off. I just finished welding it till I can mark it out. I am out of hangers. I thought he was gonna supply some. He didn't, so I ordered some. They'll be here tomorrow, but I can't finish this up for a couple days anyway, so you guys won't even see that. But yeah, I'm gonna probably start working on the other side. Other side, like I said, is a little bit more complicated, so I do have to make a bunch of pie cuts. But yeah, we're looking pretty good. Just thought you guys might be interested in seeing this real quick. Man, this video has been all over the place. I apologize for that. Some of you guys don't mind, I'm sure. So yeah, the truck, I totally forgot to get the sound clip of that. I do have a sound clip on my phone of it just idling, so I will throw that up right here. But we're moving on with the week. So today is like Thursday. This video has been over the course of like a week and a half now, just trying to film intermittent things. So I've started working on a prototype part for the Integra, nothing crazy. I'm just making some DA specific K-swap intakes. I already made one for my setup. So I'm copying the style that I'm doing, where it swoops down, goes under, and then puts a small filter right behind the core sport, where there is a fresh hole, or a hole in the core sport where you can just trim a little bit of plastic out of the inside of the grill of the bumper, and then you can get like a fresh air feed from there. And it's worked really well, especially with the box that I have surrounding it. So I'm designing the intake around that, because I wanted to also learn how to fixture up like pipe and stuff, because I'd love to be able to start fixturing up intakes and exhaust stuff. But I got the first fixture done. I made it to the K20 with the PRB manifold. So gracious enough, Brian from Hassport let me borrow one of his RBC manifolds from his house. So I'm gonna test fit this. I'm gonna see if my intake works on it. If it doesn't, I'm gonna make another version for this one. And then after that is said and done, I would like to test fit them in DJ's CRX, which also has the K20, because then ideally that would mean it would fit EFDA, which would be great. Worst comes to worst, I just have DJ drop me his CRX for a day or two, and I prototype them on the EFs, but I'd really like to have like a single one if I get so fortunate. So like I said, I already made the PRB one. I'm gonna go ahead and pull the intake off really quick. It's been a minute since I've even touched this engine, so I gotta look at this. So it looks like we're doing like the intake tube, some sensor harness stuff, and then throttle cable, unhook the fuel rail and the ground. I think this all should just come out from there. So it's been a minute, eh? Yeah, so we got some more work, but we're not going to save that for this video because this video is already kind of all over the place and longer. I have an E36 with a supercharger out, so if you guys want to check that out, that'll be in the next video. Yeah, I'm going to get started on this really quick and we can get test fitting. So I just realized I've been having issues with the Integra the last few times I drove it, where my partial throttle was very jerky, kind of felt all over the place, but my wide open throttle was okay. And I've had an issue once before on this thing where my spark plugs had backed out a little bit of the threads, so it wasn't getting like a close good spark, or however you would phrase that. But I just looked and this throttle cable was actually off. It was just barely wrapped on the bottom side, so I just had to put it back on. But feeling it now, that's a little too loose, so I think I just found my problem. It's just that I gotta add some tension to that throttle cable. Looking at the two manifolds right now, so RBC on the top, PRB on the bottom. It looks like the PRB one, obviously you can see it arches like that, comes up pretty big. I don't know if that's as big or maybe it just looks more pronounced per se, but the biggest thing is that the throttle body on the RBC kicks back like 10 or 15 degrees, whereas this one is obviously straight out. So I might be able to just fake the funk with a, you know, just rotating the intake that I already have. If not, then I just kind of add a little bend over there. So I'm gonna go ahead and slap this on. I'm just gonna hold it with a few bolts quick. But otherwise we're looking pretty good in here. This is the first time I've had the manifold off in like 2 years, I'd say. So everything's still looking pretty good. A little dusty, but I mean, what do you expect? Arizona life. Got it bolted up, just using the 2 bolts on there and 2 bolts on the throttle body. So I just took a measurement with my angle gauge here. So ideally where I need it to go is 45 degrees off of where it sits now, because I need it to sit down there and over there. So I'm definitely gonna have to use pie cuts for this, which isn't the worst thing. I'm just trying to judge how easy it is gonna be to consistently recreate this if this were to actually be like a good seller or whatever. So obviously same situation, dodge the radiator hose here. So we're ideally gonna have to do like a 90 straight down and then kick it over to the right a little bit while bringing it down, and then do another 90 to shoot it over. So it'll be easy to make it. Hopefully it's just as easy to keep recreating it. I'm gonna go play with some pie cuts and see if I have any bends really quick, and see if I can come up with something. So after playing around with some of the pieces for a few minutes, I'm almost thinking that I think the best way to go about this is gonna be a 90-degree coupler straight down, and then from there I can basically just kind of do like a modified 90, and then I can shoot it over exactly where I want it. And then that can also make it super cheap to recreate and super easy, so that way I don't have to worry about getting all crazy with the pipe and everything and worrying about clearancing the hoses and stuff, because then doing it with the 90 coupler, supplying it with like a kit or something, it gives plenty of clearance. And then yeah, so you know what, I'm gonna go try and find a 90-degree coupler and see if I can build off of that instead. So I opted to not do the 90 coupler just because I really didn't want to drive an hour round trip to go get it. And also I figured, I don't know what I was thinking. It'll work both ways. I just really mostly was just lazy, didn't want to go drive. So it's basically pretty simple. All I did, it does kind of twist a little bit, like you can see, but it's basically just a 90 kicked that way and then a 90 kind of kicked that way and rotated in the coupler. So it's really almost identical to the one that I had on here before. This one kind of fits a little wonky anyway, but the other one that I prototyped, that was for the other manifold anyway, that I fixtured. It's similar to this. This is basically just, it's taller, so there's more of the longer midsection as compared to the other one. So it all fits the same nonetheless. It'll work just fine. Got plenty of clearance back here for the clutch slave to actuate and for the shifter to, you know, shift. So I think I'm gonna call that pretty good. I don't know if I'm gonna weld this one up. I probably will, because I'm also gonna add the little IAT sensor port down here. Just gotta drill a hole, add a grommet, this guy right here, and that'll be that. So I'll probably end up, I'll prototype, or I'll test fit this on the other jig actually. I'll do that first, see how far off we are. I know I'll have to make another jig, I'm sure. But I'll probably end up welding this up eventually and selling it. But ideally for the production ones, it would be more or less 290s with like a mid-section lengthened or something. Yeah, pretty easy, which is what I was hoping for, because again, I wanted something cheap, well, simple, so that way I could keep the price down, so I don't have to, so I'm not going to be charging like 300 bucks or something for intake setup for the DAs. I wanted to keep it in like the 250 and under range, so should be just fine.